across the country, visiting NetSuite customers to see the incredible things they're accomplishing. From Valdosta, Georgia to Salt Lake City, Utah, and everywhere in between, here's a glimpse of my journey on the road to SuiteWorld.
The one thing you can't miss out on a road trip, snacks. Wasabi peas, saltwater taffy, trail mix, buccarones, Bucco's snack rings, different color Bucco's snack rings, of course.
You ready?
Yeah, I think so. Holy sorry, don't use that. You can find me in St. Louis rolling on dubs. Drivers, torture it. Well, that is a wrap here in Salt Lake City. Next stop, Las Vegas.
Kendall, what are you doing?
Oh.
We gotta go. Yeah, I mean, I like...
The real combo wumbo.
Hey, wait, isn't that Bursley?
What are you doing out there? Get in!
You know, I'm not sure, but that looks like our crew.
Oh, yep, you're right. Get in, losers. We're going to SuiteWorld.
Guys, we have to get in our NetSuite TV attire. Let me say the magic word. Full suite ahead. You're welcome. Hey, let's get on over to the NetSuite TV studio.
You guys want to ride to the studio?
Sure.
Jump on.
Welcome back to NetSuite TV. We have certainly missed you. I'm Kendall Fisher, head of brand video across Oracle and NetSuite, and your anchor for the next 2 days.
And I'm the Vice President of Content across Oracle and NetSuite, Fritz Nelson, and Kendall's co-anchor and minion.
True.
And also your fact checker.
Also true.
And your moral compass.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Now, you may have noticed some new faces standing with us. We put on a company-wide contest at NetSuite to find the best people to bring you all the awesomeness of SuiteWorld this year. And that is exactly who we found. I am beyond excited to introduce you to our NetSuite TV correspondents.
Hi everyone, I'm Bursley Cherry, NetSuite BDR Manager with my new side gig as NetSuite TV Correspondent. Over to you, Tori.
Thank you, Bursley. Hello, I am Tori Youngblood, NetSuite Social Media Manager and your social correspondent for NetSuite TV. Throwing it to Christina.
You got it, Tori. I'm Christina Eberhardt, NetSuite Senior Account Manager, doubling as one of your NetSuite TV correspondents this week. And finally, Sima, what do you got for us?
Christina, I have a lot. But for now, I'll just let you all know that I'm Sima Alibi, a Senior Consulting Practice Manager here at NetSuite and your international correspondent all the way from the UK.
And we are live from SuiteWorld 2022. And now, if this isn't your first rodeo with NetSuite TV, welcome back. But for our new viewers, NetSuite TV is our live 2-day broadcast right from the heart of the Expo floor, bringing the excitement of SuiteWorld to you wherever you're tuning in from.
The broadcast will be jam-packed with in-depth interviews, product discussions, highlights from the Expo floor, and ways to connect with the NetSuite community and businesses just like yours.
Yes, over the next 2 days, you'll hear from customers like Studio McGee, March of Dimes, Thread Wallets, as well as executives like our founder and executive vice president, Evan Goldberg, and our senior vice president of product management, Gary Wiesinger.
But that's not all. NetSuite TV will be chock full of games, candid interviews, and immersive experiences with customer collaborations we've got going all over SuiteWorld. I hear we'll even do a few live tastings for you.
That rumor may be true, Bursley, and we want you, our viewers, to participate. You're watching through RainFocus right now, so here's a couple quick tips to get the most of NetSuite TV and SuiteWorld on air over the next couple of days. First and foremost, anytime you're watching NetSuite TV, you can maximize the stream by clicking the brackets on the lower right corner of the video.
And a couple of other minor notes. Don't forget to set up your profile and preferences and check out the Sessions tab on the left for all the content to come this week. You can like any session and add it to your personal agenda by clicking the heart in the top right corner of the session, or come back and watch all content on demand.
We also have another really exciting feature this year, virtual networking. Check out the networking tab to see fellow attendees like you, either in a similar role, industry, or product interest. You can click their name, add a meeting to their calendar, or even live chat with them.
You know, Kendall, back in my day, we used to look people up in the yellow pages and send them telegrams. Anyway, one of my favorite features is the NetSuite Commons, where you can visit the virtual suite store and purchase products from customers like Jellycat and Bombas.
You can also check out demos in the demo grounds, book appointments with any suite gurus, or even share your opinion on new product directions in the UX lab.
Oh, and don't forget to set up an inspection with ACS. They'll give you a scorecard of your NetSuite adoption in relation to the Suite Success Ladder. Pretty cool.
Okay, phew. There is a lot going on, and we have only just scratched the surface. But there is still one thing left to do. We've got to let our audience get to know all of you. So since we traveled across the country, and some of us the Atlantic Ocean, to get here, I figured we'd stay on the whole travel theme. And I'm gonna ask each of you, what is your favorite place to visit and your favorite thing to do there? I'll start with you, Bursley.
I love Vegas. I love coming to Vegas, and honestly, the casinos is where it's at for me, to be honest.
My favorite place in the world is Barcelona. I love beaches, tapas, and Tempranillo.
I'd have to say Tanzania, because the Serengeti safari is spectacular.
I love the island of Saipan because I actually lived there, fun fact, and I love scuba diving.
Very cool. Well, I can't just pick one place. I recently went to Oman, and there's a place there called Wadi Shab, which is a valley with crystal clear waters and caves that you can swim through. Really cool.
Wow.
Beautiful. Very nice.
Oh, you weren't going to ask me about my favorite place?
I already know. It's right here with us.
It is. But my second favorite place is Paris, and I love to visit Crazy Horse Cabaret.
Well, that makes sense. I'm not so sure about Crazy Horse, but I do think it's time to hop on our SuiteWorld horse and ride this baby to opening keynote. What do you guys say?
Fritz, I don't know if anyone knows what that means.
You're not supposed to know what it means. It's provocative. It gets people going.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to need a little bit of coffee, so we're going to go ahead and grab that while you take a look at the making of SuiteWorld 2022. All right, Fritz, are you all better?
Yes, I've got my Red Bay coffee here, so I'm going to pour a little bit of that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Do you know much about them?
I actually do. I had the pleasure of interviewing their founder, Kiba Conte, not too long ago.
Yeah, they're a really cool company located in the Bay Area of California, hence the Red Bay.
Right.
And they're part of the fourth wave of coffee, or so-called fourth wave, with a firm commitment to ensure coffee production is not only high quality and sustainable, but also a vehicle for diversity and social and economic restoration, entrepreneurship, and environmental sustainability. So cool what they do. Everyone who works for them is a foodie, an artist, part of the community, innovators, and they make great coffee.
They do, and this is exactly what I needed. We have a really big day ahead of us, Fritz. What are you most excited about?
Well, I always love the keynote, the opening keynote, Evan's keynote, and he, makes product announcements, always has a few fun little quips and stories to tell, and that opening, whatever the opening is, I can't wait for that. Yeah. It's always exciting and full of energy.
It is, and I have to give you some credit, a lot of credit. You are heavily involved in helping out on Evan's keynote, so congrats to you on what is bound to be an amazing keynote. I know that's got to be super exciting. For me, it is always the customers. Being here with so many amazing companies from across the globe is truly, truly my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, and I mean, the customers, that's why we do what we do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and speaking of why we do what we do, and being at SuiteWorld, our dear friend Bursley sat down with NetSuite's head of global events and the woman behind SuiteWorld this year, Lane Sobel, earlier this week, to hear what went into the making of all of this here today.
Hi everyone, I'm Bursley Cherry, and I'm here to introduce our global head of events, Lane Sobel, who is arguably the queen of SuiteWorld. Thanks for joining us, Lane.
Thanks for having me.
So we're here in Vegas. SuiteWorld 2022. What went into the planning of an event like this?
We have dozens of people who work on SuiteWorld, and it really is a year-round endeavor.
Yeah.
From picking the right venue to picking the right dates to then determining what the theme's going to be, which this year we know is full suite ahead, and then figuring out what is the agenda going to look like. And while a lot of things are the same year over year as far as what we cover, because we know what our attendees want to hear, I think it's really important to take lessons learned from each year and think about how to improve the program and what do our attendees want. And this year, that for us was all about the content and making sure that our attendees could access our leaders and our education services team and get the training that they really want at SuiteWorld, in addition to all the fun networking and, of course, our keynotes where they hear the latest and greatest and what's coming over the next year or so.
So this year should be better than last year. So I guess I'm curious, what's new this year?
So I like to think that every year we get to build on the previous year. So just as a company wants to grow year over year, SuiteWorld as an event wants to grow year over year. As growth looks different for different companies, I think growth looks different every year for SuiteWorld. This year what was really important, as I just mentioned, is getting that one-on-one training. And every year we hear from our attendees they want more training, more tips and tricks. And so the biggest thing that's different this year is our learning lab for our in-person attendees. And what they're going to get to do is go into a ballroom that is dedicated just to learning. So we have our education services team there, so the LCS team. They'll be running sessions. They're there to answer questions and to help you create a personalized, tailored learning path at SuiteWorld and beyond. So you can kind of see all the benefits of LCS, whether you have it or don't.
Wow. So you talked about the attendees that are here, but I can't forget about our on-air attendees who are tuning in right now. What can they look forward to?
Yeah, so our on-air attendees have access to sessions that we have curated specifically for them. So we're not just popping a camera into the back of breakout rooms and having our attendees watch, because that's not how they want to engage. So all of our breakout sessions for the virtual audience are tailored to them. We do have some live trainings available as well. So we have some of our training team who's dedicated to leading the sessions for our virtual attendees, and they get to interact with so many pieces of the conference. So from live streaming the keynotes, I know we've got our opening keynote coming up shortly, which is always my personal favorite moment of the show. They get to schedule Suite Guru sessions, which has always been a favorite thing for attendees at SuiteWorld, to get one-on-one support from our services team. They can even access our Suite store. So one of the things we love to do every year at SuiteWorld is set up our Suite store, where we do lots of great SuiteWorld and Oracle NetSuite branded apparel. But we also feature a lot of our customers in that store. Some of our customers are offering discounts only for SuiteWorld attendees, so you can find that out on the on-air portal in the NetSuite Commons section as well.
Lane, you just celebrated 7 years this past summer at NetSuite. Congratulations on another year.
Thank you.
I'm curious, what are you most looking forward to at SuiteWorld this year?
I really look forward to everything, and the reason I love my job is because no 2 days look the same, right? And even though I've done SuiteWorld for a number of years, every year is different for me, and every year is exciting. Getting to watch other people enjoy what my team has worked so hard to produce is one of my favorite things. As far as programming goes, I would say I always look forward to the opening keynote. That is an area that I personally spend a lot of time working on, developing what the room's gonna look like and sound like, and what is the big opening experience gonna be, because we always like to kick off SuiteWorld with some surprise and delight. To who are our speakers going to be, and what customers do we want to hear from. So I think getting to watch the opening keynote as an attendee is really fun. But this year we're doing a pitch competition where we're going to hear from 3 startups. All of our attendees, whether they're in the audience or watching on air, are going to get to vote for their favorite startup. I think that brings a whole new dynamic, and hopefully something that we'll be able to incorporate in the future as well. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
But you know, I've been to a ton of SuiteWorlds. I know this is your first SuiteWorld.
This is my first SuiteWorld.
So what are you looking most forward to?
I think what I'm looking forward to is just seeing all the customers walking around for the next couple of days, just being able to meet them, talk to them about their NetSuite journey and sort of the future of their company and NetSuite moving forward. So I'm definitely excited about that. You know, Lane, we appreciate you taking the time, and I think, you know, we know you have a lot of work to do. You're very, very busy, so we're gonna let you go.
Thank you.
And we're gonna head back to the studio with Kendall and Fritz.
Well, as Lane mentioned, our pitch competition is happening on stage during the keynote this morning, and now we're here with one of the judges for the competition, the founder of Bombas, Dave Heath. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, look, I own a lot of your products, but I'm going to let you tell our audience here, what does Bombas do?
So Bombas is a comfort-focused premium basics brand with a mission to help those in need. We found out that socks, underwear, and t-shirts are the #1, #2, and #3 most requested clothing items at homeless shelters. So for every item that we sell, we donate a pair to someone in need.
That's great.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
We are so excited to have you here at SuiteWorld, and you're about to go on stage during the keynote. How are you feeling?
I'm certainly happy to be on this side of the competition, having done a lot of these in my past. I'm not. I'm glad that I don't have to present, for sure.
Yeah. Well, can you tell our audience a little bit about what the competition is going to be about? What are you going to be doing on stage?
Yeah, so we're judging 3 incredible entrepreneurs who've all come up with 3 amazing businesses that are all purpose and mission led, right? With an idea to have a real impact in their specific sector. One is, helping student loan debt. One is helping doctors, work collaboratively through VR and AI. And then the other one is an AI-powered platform that helps companies remove bias from job posting. So all 3 have incredible missions, and so it's going to be really difficult to pick one.
You just did an elevator pitch for 3 companies
I know.
in like 20 seconds. That was awesome.
It's like you've done this before.
I've had some practice.
So what will you be looking for during the pitch competition? Like, what are you looking for from the contestants?
Yeah, I want to get a good understanding of kind of product market fit, minimum viable product, but I also want to get a sense from the entrepreneurs that they really buy into the purpose, right? I think purpose-led founders and companies tend to succeed at a much higher rate because they truly believe anytime I see someone coming out with, say, oh, I'm building this company to sell it for X number of dollars, that doesn't really resonate with me. So I want to know that they're fully bought in to the product and the mission that they're delivering on.
And as a judge, I mean, your own experience pitching Bombas, you know, and the you know, the kind of harsh reality of go, no go, or come back another day, how will that impact how you judge on stage?
Yeah, you know, look, if you've made it here on stage, you know, one of three, I know they're all getting some sort of prize. Like, they're all, I mean, I hate to be cliche about it, they're all winners at this point. But, you know, that's part of the entrepreneurial journey, right? It's not always up and to the right. You know, you have challenges that you have to work through, and I think that's those moments are fortifying when you don't win. You know, we came in second and third, and you know, plenty of times, and knowing that we had the, you know, tenacity to get back up and get back out there and prove people that, you know, what we're doing is worthwhile. Yeah. That's what keeps, I think, driving entrepreneurs forward.
Yeah, that's the definition of entrepreneurialism right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, just in terms of some of those experiences you had, what's critical in winning over investors in a pitch? Like, what are those like 2 or 3 key things?
Yeah, I think a certain level of confidence, right, and in knowing, right, that your mission and the purpose that you're delivering on is worthwhile, that the world needs it. I think a good understanding of your market and having a certain sense of humility, right? You don't want to see arrogance, right? Arrogance is the death of every entrepreneur. I think entrepreneurs that have a good sense of humility, but also understand where the opportunities are, but where the potential pitfalls and risks are as well. And then lastly, I think, you know, people that you can see are having fun with it, right? I always like to see people who, you know, are out there and just like enjoying the moment, like really thriving in the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm wondering too, you know, in this current environment, you hear a lot of things from investors around, you know, the dollar metrics, you know, especially now maybe more of a focus on the bottom line. You know, how much does that weigh into, you know, a pitch competition like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think over the last 10 years or so, if you were good at pitching or fundraising, you could build a good business, right? And I think as we're heading into a more challenged environment, we're going to see who the real founder CEOs are versus those who are just good at pitching. So I think a refocus on, you know, this is where I think some of that humility comes in, right? Not just we're the best, we're going to take everything, but knowing where the opportunities and risks are and going into it and saying, this is how we're going to focus, this is how we're going to, you know, survive. I think this next period of time is really about survival more than just trying to grow at all costs.
Yeah. Survival, and that breeds innovation. So I'm super excited to see that. And
yeah, it also separates, you know, it gets rid of some of the chafe.
Right, exactly. Well, looking forward to seeing who comes out a winner, even though everybody's going to be a winner.
Right.
And now what is that? Oh yeah, I just got news actually that Saima is in Keynote Hall currently with another one of our customers who is going to be on stage, Patrick Ord from Studio McGee. So Saima, I'm sending it over to you.
Kendall, there is so much going on. The Keynote Hall is buzzing with excitement. The DJ is playing some tunes while everybody is coming in. And yes, I'm here with Patrick Ord, the president of Studio McGee. Patrick, welcome. So you're getting on that stage right behind us in just a few moments to a 6,000 person audience, not to make you feel nervous or anything. How do you feel?
Well, it's exciting. There's a lot of energy in here, but I'm excited. We've got a great story to tell, a great business, so it's always fun to share that story.
Well, we're very excited to have you here, Patrick. Now tell us, how do you mentally prepare yourself for an event like this?
Well, you know, I try to reflect on the founder's story, and it's a very compelling story where Shay McGee had a passion for design. She started to take pictures of design projects she had around the house and post them to Instagram. That Instagram following led to paid work, and now we have a wonderful company that employs 200 people, and it's just been really exciting.
Well, we are looking forward to hearing a little bit more about this. So Patrick, you'll be chatting with our founder, Evan Goldberg, shortly. Can you give us a little bit more of a teaser on what you'll be discussing today?
Well, we're going to talk about the growth of our business, and we're going to talk about how NetSuite's helped to facilitate that growth and give us the business intelligence to identify the challenges and opportunities that we need to execute on.
Excellent. Well, Patrick, last question. The World Series is coming up in a month's time, and we have a lot of baseball fans watching. So if you could pick one walk-up song right now, what would it be?
Well, I think the coolest walk-up song I've seen this year is Diaz, the pitcher for the Mets, has a song called Narco, and it's pretty legit. I don't know if I'm that legit to be able to have that song, but I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, sounds like a banger. Being from London, I'd have to pick something London, like London Bridge by Fergie. Well, Patrick, go kill it on stage. And for all of you watching, please stay tuned, as after the keynote, Patrick and his VP of Technology, Josh Batchelor, will be doing a follow-up interview. But right now, I would like to pass it over to Christina, who's in the studio with some breaking news. Christina?
Thank you, Simon and Patrick. Real quick, I heard that question about the walk-up song, and mine would definitely be I Wanna Dance With Somebody by Whitney Houston. But we're not here to talk about music. We're here for a breaking news announcement. For those who caught NetSuite TV last year, we're making a big upgrade to the studio this year. Studio McGee designers are going to help us turn this space right here into a really cool set for interviews. Think Oprah or Ellen DeGeneres. So stay tuned right after the keynote to see what they do and how they do it. You definitely don't want to miss this transformation. Now I'm going to hand it back over to Tori with more folks live from the Expo floor. Tori?
That's right, Christina. We are here live on the Expo floor for the very first time at SuiteWorld 2022. Man, it feels good to be here. I love it. And now our goal is to bring you the magic and energy of SuiteWorld to you wherever you're at in the world. And really, what better way to do that than to talk to someone who's here experiencing it all. So that's what I'm going to do. I am joined here with Katrina. Katrina, thanks so much for joining me today. So first of all, where are you from? What do you do? What are you doing here?
So I am from Louisville, Kentucky. I am the controller for HEI Supply Chain Solutions. We're a 3PL logistics company. We've had NetSuite for about 4 years, a little over 4 years. Love the product, so I'm always anxious to come back, see what's new, what new is coming, what new enhancements, as well as just see some familiar faces and hang out with some friends and just have fun.
I love hearing that you've been with NetSuite for 4 years. We're in a serious relationship. It's
right.
getting really serious and committed now.
It's my second time with NetSuite, so.
Great. And is it your first time at SuiteWorld, or have you been here before?
I've been here several times, maybe about 6 times. So yes, all the way back from when it was in San Jose. And then here in Vegas, so it is always a great time though.
You are a SuiteWorld veteran. I'm so glad that I found you to speak to. So what is your favorite part about SuiteWorld? What do you look forward to most?
Well, other than the entertainment, because the entertainment's always, spectacular, but it's always just learning, what's new, how other companies are using the product, opening my mind to how we could potentially, find new ways of using the product or new ways of using the data that we have in the product. So, it's just a lot of information, and hopefully I can walk away with a few tidbits that I can take back and apply in our environment.
Absolutely. So we have thousands of viewers joining us virtually. And like I said earlier, I want to bring the essence of SuiteWorld to them. So can you describe what it's like to be here on the Expo floor, what it's like to be at SuiteWorld in general?
Well, there are a lot of people here today. It's quite crowded today. We're all inside today, not outside. So it's just a lot of energy. So you miss out on the energy, you miss out on building new relationships, meeting new people, finding out how they're using the system and where they're from. It's always fun to connect to all the other people here. So if you're at home, you miss out on all that fun.
That's my favorite part about SuiteWorld, is meeting all the people. Truly the best part. Well, thank you so much for Katrina. I appreciate you coming on with me, and I hope you have a great time for the rest of the week. Thank you. All right, everyone. Well, you can see there is a lot happening here, and there is so much more to come. Stick with us. Kendall and Fritz, back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Tori and Katrina. Wow, Katrina loved us so much, she came back for a second time. I love that. We call that rekindling, or as my friends would call it, rekindling, because I've done that with a few relationships.
She'll be here all week.
But okay, but for real, I think Katrina's going to be excited about some of the announcements we have coming out today.
For sure. And the other thing that strikes me about this is just all the people that Tori talked to, it's about the community. It's about getting ideas from one another. They keep coming back for more, to see all the familiar faces, to hear about what's new, hear how people are implementing NetSuite. Warms the heart.
It does warm the heart. We have so much happening here on the Expo floor, like our training grounds, where you can actually kind of go and get a health check to see how you're using NetSuite, if you can use it in a better way. That's with our ACS team. And so hearing Katrina kind of talk about that, they've been with NetSuite for 4 years. They're so excited to kind of dive into that a little bit more. It's awesome. It's great stuff.
Yeah, and there's the Learning Lab.
Yep.
I mentioned before the Suite Store.
Yep, lots going on.
And also, I think Simon asked about walk-up music. What's your walk-up song?
Knuck If You Buck.
Okay, all right. Not sure I know that one.
I'll show it to you later. What about yours?
It would definitely be Creep.
Oh, Creep, wow.
Radiohead, yeah.
Nice, nice. Oh, once again, I am getting some sound from the Expo floor. We're just a few minutes now from the keynote starting out. Bursley is actually in Keynote Hall checking things out before they get going over there. Bursley, tell me, what's going on? What's it like over there?
All right, it's popping out here. Like, you can feel the vibes, you can feel the energy. I was just dancing back here about 5 minutes. The crew was looking at me crazy, but you could feel the excitement. Folks are just filling up the room. People are already seated. Some folks are trying to find a seat. Again, the vibes are just the thing right now. I think I saw one CEO talking about teach me how to Dougie. So you can feel the excitement. I'm very excited to get this keynote started. What better way to really kick off this conference than with this keynote? I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of exciting announcements. I was dancing here earlier. I hope everyone feels great. I hope everyone feels excited. Kendall, Fritz, how are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good. We're feeling good. We're excited about the keynote as always, and interested to see where it goes and kind of fill out the rest of our program based on some of the announcements that come out of the keynote.
Yeah, lots of amazing announcements to come. Lots of amazing content to come. And somebody is teaching me how to Dougie, I guess, in the Expo. Do you know how to Dougie?
I'll tell you something, though.
I've forgotten what that.
I think I've forgotten it. It's some, I don't know. I might have to get out there with Bursley and see what they're doing.
Do you? What are your other favorite dance moves?
I don't think I can share that on NetSuite TV.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
We're starting with a bang.
No, I'm just kidding. What about yours?
Well, there are things from the 50s,
right.
40s.
The 20s, the early 10s.
The
early 1910s.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't get too off track here. We are going to keynote soon. Is there anything you can share with us about what's to come? Anything that's, I don't know, is there any little sneak peek we can get? Everybody here is waiting for keynote.
Yeah, I think one of the things you'll hear is our theme, Full Suite Ahead, right? And really that's kind of a play on, obviously, full speed ahead. And for the past few years, we've been talking about, what challenging times, what uncertain times that we're going through. And honestly, over decades and decades, it's always been that way. We've never been able to really predict the things that happen. And but I think now more than ever, we're dealing with all sorts of crazy things that have happened. And so, what we've seen our customers do is just kind of plow through. It's like, okay, here's the next thing. How are we going to get through it? Let's make a plan. Let's set a strategy. Let's figure out the tactics to get there. And they've just plowed through full suite ahead.
They really have.
So you'll hear Evan talk a little bit about that and what that means. And he's got some interesting little stories to tell to kind of build a sense of, what a typical NetSuite customer goes through.
Yeah.
And then we'll of course have some great customers on stage, as we talked about, and some product announcements.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's one thing we actually didn't call out here is the event is so large this year. We've done something a little bit different in Keynote Hall. I wonder if you guys will all be able to see what's going on, but the stage is in the middle of Keynote Hall, and you have people on both sides. So Evan will be addressing both sides of the audience all around him. This kind of like 360 moment. It's really, really cool. There's some cool technology happening, I hear.
Yeah. Fun little moment that you'll see kind of towards the end. And like you said, it's kind of a way of doing a talk in the round.
Yeah.
And so I think the first time we've done it, I don't know, I have not been here
for
long enough to 22 years.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I think it's an interesting juxtaposition to what we've normally done.
Yeah. Well, I am getting news right now that the lights are dimming. The lights are going down low. That's a Jesse James Decker lyric. And Evan is about to take the stage. So for now, we are going to throw it over to opening keynote, and we'll see you right back here